1,000 years ago, superstition and magic ruled. It was a time of excitement. It was the age of wizards. First came the elves, and then came the devil. We had discussed our views on these events and which folks tuned into for months, until a powerful curse bounded us from speaking for countless millennia. But now, the curse has lifted, and we live again! For those of you who don't know the intro to that specific show, number one, do yourself a history lesson, and number two, I know what a lot of you guys are going to say. Lucky G, where have you been? It has been about half the time as it's took for what's currently going on in the manga right now. I know. I've seen some of the replies, and especially Tumblr too. I've been aware. I have been aware of my absence, and I haven't done it on purpose. I've just had a lot of stuff going on, between the end of 2019 and then now ushering into the new decade that a lot of people are dubbing 2020 vision. So it's a thing, but what kind of got me back onto doing this is the stuff that's been going down in the manga as of recent. But the most important thing for me is this: that I've been missing this. I've just really, really been missing this groove, this sensation that I felt since practically since the last 3 months. And given how I'm back here with Black Clover, y'all should know the drill. Y'all should know the drill at this point. I can't really do these podcasts by myself. I mean, yes, technically I could, but y'all, it's 2020. What fun would that be? What fun would it be just having me here by myself, like every other YouTuber, when I could just be sitting here and discussing a said series with a buddy, with a friend? So, I've brought with me a special friend and a special guest. So go ahead and introduce yourself.
Boy, it has been a year, hasn't it? Wow. You could say it's been a decade since we last done the podcast. Pretty wow, actually. A lot of things has happened over the course of a year, let alone 6 months. Yeah, we're finally back. It's been quite some time. He has been busy. I have been busy. We've been busy for a while, but that's what happens when the start of a new year comes about, because I guess you gotta do all the billings, you gotta do all the works, you gotta catch up on a lot of things. It's kind of like a head start to the resolution, whatever resolution you have for a year. Yeah, we're finally back. We wanted to do this podcast for a while, especially with the recent event and including like the stuff that happened. I can't say an arc ago because this is still technically an arc, but the major development that happened, let's see, 2 to 3 chapters ago. Boy, I was hoping we was going to have a podcast again for that moment, because shoot, it's just it is crazy. It's a good direction though. It's definitely um a good path that this series is taking, because it's reminding me like Dragon Ball, where Dragon Ball was always like a safe haven. It was just fun and games, self aware, and all that jazz. And then when you hit Piccolo, that's when the series changed into a more of a dark tone, a more serious approach, while still maintaining the foundation of what it has. And so far, Black Clover has been showing that. It hasn't drift me away. It hasn't separated me from like, man, this series is going to a path I don't like. Man, this series is doing something that it should not be doing. I mean, anything could change down the line. We're gonna just talk about that. We're gonna talk about that very soon. But all I want to say first of all is that it's great to be back. It's great to chat with Lucky Chi once again. I'm really stoked to talk about more of the series and see where we're gonna talk about in terms of like the developments, the characters, and where this arc is heading to. So glad to be back.
I can definitely second your thoughts on that too. And, you know, Well, let's be perfectly honest here. There's a lot we got to cover. There is definitely a lot of stuff to cover. So, for those of you who've been with the Black Clover podcast, basically since last year, you'll know the usual format is, we cover a chapter or two chapters, and we discuss what's going on in the chapter, and we kind of further dissect and make our little thoughts on what we could see happening in the future. But like I said, that's a lot of chapters from where we last left off, because last time was 227. Right now we're on 241, so that's like at least 14. And if we were to break down each chapter, boy, we'd be here for a while. We would be here for a while, and y'all already know the stuff that's gone down in those 14 chapters, so y'all would probably be sitting here going like, yeah, okay, you guys, we get the gist. We don't need to go through all 14 chapters. So, instead, what I propose is we just tackle the events that have happened. And just, based on my analysis from what I've seen of this recent arc, there's only like four big things that have happened so far. Let's just go ahead and tackle the very first big thing. Because, boy, Sparta and I, when it came to our predictions, we were kind of off from when this one dude, which he finally has a name now, by the way, but at the time, I coined him as Uno because one man army took out everyone. And I'm like, all right, for the time being, you will be named Uno. And Uno, scared the shit out of Luck. So, what I thought, I was like, all right, so maybe there's a chance either we could see him in the following chapter or we completely diverge. One of my theories ended up being right about that. But we went even further. We went even further into this, and holy shit, we got a time skip. Holy shit, we got a time skip. Like, y'all have no idea. When that chapter came out, 228, and I was reading it, I was like, oh, cool. Like, this chapter's actually pretty nice. Then you get to the end of the chapter, and it's like, oh, by the way, 6 months have passed, and I'm like, what? Wait. Yeah, wait. Black Clover doing a podcast ahead of a certain other series, which I won't name for obvious reasons, but holy shit, that's crazy. And what makes it even better is that if you go by volume standpoints, the latest one that just came out in Japan, 23, ends off at 228. So it's, in a weird way, you could kind of look at that as like part one, where it's like from volume 1 to volume 23. That's all, in a sense, pre time skip. Now, granted, like I said, it's not like a year or 2 year time skip, but 6 months is still pretty cool. I'll give it that. There's a lot more I'll dive into for that, that's pertaining to the 6 month time skip. But Sparta, what's your thoughts that we've entered a time skip for the series?
I mean, the time skip. At first, I thought it was gonna be like when I was overhearing like there's gonna be a time skip before the chapter was released, and I was like, time skip. Oh, okay. Man, I didn't think it was gonna be a time skip. I thought that would be like a little training thing. I mean, they already established like, oh, y'all guys gonna train here and y'all gonna improve yourselves. So that way, we're gonna fight the one of the devils very soon. And we just witnessed one of the Spade Kingdom member just wipe out the entire
Diamond Kingdom.
Diamond Kingdom, yeah. So I was like, damn, we just jump ahead. But it's just 6 months. That's actually a fair amount of time. Yeah, six because a lot of series tend to do 2 years time skip. It's like a law for Shonen Jump to have a 2 year time skip. Naruto did it. One Piece did it.
Bleach was
I
like
feel
a
like
year and a half, I think. I think it was a year and a half.
for Bleach,
No, seven. It was either a year and a half or like 17 months. It's one of the two.
I forgot which series was that. Wait, you talk about Bleach or
Yeah,
does you talk?
for Bleach.
Well, okay. Yeah, but either way, it's always over a year.
At
Six
least.
months is like a 6 month is like a qualified year to say you don't need to grow up too much. All you need to do is just to have your strength leveled up. Basically, your level. Like, oh, I went from 35 to 65. because I trained for 6 months. Rather than like a whole new design. He's grown up. He got taller. Yay. Nothing like that. So that's
Nope.
acceptable. And maybe, just maybe, that's where they give the anime a benefit of, to, hey, we could do fillers. We could just show them training and then we could do time skip. Because the opening sure says that, hey, we're gonna do the recent arc. You cool with that? Like, wow, really? Are you pulling like how Toei Animation has done for One Piece or Once Upon a Time? Actually, they're doing it right now. And they're in the current arc.
They are.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they like work with the amount of content that is so low. Like they really did like the first act, if I recall correctly. So it's like, this is getting a little too close, but that's a different story. My point is, the point is this: the 6 months time skip is fine. I like the fact that we're not like dancing around like, oh, they're gonna train, what he's missing out, this and that, because all he needs to do is have to just level up the thing. We already know a lot of basics and other things of the fight, the system, the magic system in the series. So it's like, it's fine. We don't need to learn the curve or all that stuff. I mean, not a lot of series usually go dive in too much. I know Naruto is well known for that. Hunter x Hunter does that. My Hero does that. It's pretty much in the title right there. Black Clover does it, but they do it so quickly, so it doesn't really matter. It doesn't really disturb the flow. Doesn't disrupt the flow. Doesn't disrupt the momentum. So that's fine. I was psyched to see that it's gonna be 6 month time skip. I mean, after what they show of that one Spade Kingdom who ended up being Zeno, that guy, he just annihilated the entire Diamond Kingdom. So we need the time skips, because if they were to be like, just defeat them in their current stage back to 6 months ago, that would be hard. That would be
It
very
was.
hard to
It
believe.
would have been like, okay, so how exactly did that ended up going? It's like, oh, yeah, suspension of disbelief. But
Yeah, that would just make a lot of people upset. Like, well, this series is becoming fairy tale, because I think the fairy tale disadvantage, which is almost ironic, was they don't have time skip. The only reason I say ironic, because technically they do, but one time skip they actually froze in space. So it's like, oh,
design didn't change much.
yeah, like they literally skip ahead without training, and it makes it worse how they actually have the goal to present. Was it Natsu? I want to say it's Natsu, where they have Natsu fighting against one of the fairy tale member, and one of the fairy tale got really strong, but Natsu still beats him with breeze. Like, huh? Kind of ruined the point, but all right, fine. So with Black Clover, it's acceptable because everybody was doing the trade. It's not like just Asta, Noel, Mimosa, and Finro to doing the training. And then there is like a little surprise twist to it with the training, because one of them actually joined in. I guess we'll probably cover that very shortly. But yeah, so it's not like they're the only one doing the training. Everybody else has their own course. Everybody has their things, their routine to do. I mean, even Gordon has this thing to do, which is
Which is
something I
kind of
didn't
funny. I was like,
expect.
huh.
I didn't expect him to do something. Like, I mean, like, okay, maybe I would say don't do anything, but it's more like, something that's pretty prominent. It's like, oh, look at that. Every character get their shine. Every character get their progress. It's pretty cool to see how many characters actually getting their shiny moments, getting their relevancy,
Like it's
instead of
not
like,
into like one specific group. It's like everyone gets like a moment.
right, exactly. So that was really cool. 6 month time skip, it could be used for like a few, for like whatever there's a battle, they'll be like, let's go into flashback mode. But I mean, like, they don't need to do that too often, because that would be cheap. And that's another series that I'm worried about when it comes to time skip, and then just use the excuse like, oh, this is why I win here, because of this flashback that I thankfully skipped 6 months ago. So we'll see what happens in this series. But it doesn't seem like it's gonna show that case. Not too often, especially with the last development with that one was pretty messed up. But we'll talk about that very soon. Yeah, so I didn't mind the time skip at all. I was surprised, but I wasn't like, oh my god, they're gonna rush this article. Oh no, it got canceled, even though it's getting like color page in the next chapter. But
Right?
whatever. Oh no, and it's actually popular. Oh no, it got canceled. So
And it's
yeah,
5 years. That's the other thing. It's been 5 years now.
yeah, exactly. I'm pretty stoked. Well, yeah, time skip didn't bother me. It surprised me, but in a good way.
As far as change goes, I I don't want to say that there was necessarily like a big change. Again, it wasn't like with Naruto where you see how he was in part one, and then you see him in part two, and you're like, "Holy shit, he got tall." No, they grew a little bit, but like in terms of like appearance wise, not much really changed. It's just like like minor little updates to it. But I think the minor updates that you see are actually kind of worth it because let me tell you right now, Asta, I don't know what kind of training regimen he put himself on, but that dude did not look the same. Like from 228 to 229, you're like, wait, what the fuck? That's him?
I like to think he went through the Chris Redfield route where from Resident Evil. Like he looks like a normal guy, but then when Resident Evil 5 hits, he's all bronze, he's all ready to kick ass, like do body slam to zombies and Wesker. It's like, man, this guy is prepared for everything. So that's what
There-
Asta do. He's prepared for everything now.
yeah, you get Asta. He's like, yep, I'm prepared for anything. I'm like, alrighty then. No, Will's pretty cool. I like her design too, where she's got the pigtails in the bag. That's kind of cool. I mean, Mosa didn't really look like she changed that much. At least to me, because I looked at her appearance. I'm like, all right, it's not too different from what her initial design was, but the only thing I could say is like, maybe like there's like a change of clothes, but that's it for me. And I guess for Sea Gray, it's just the fact that like like her cloak's a little bit more open now. That's the only thing I could see there. But I mean, design wise, I think everyone looks cool. What about you, Sparta?
I mean, Asta's the most noticeable one because he's like showing off like he became Johnny Bravo apparently. So he just he's just letting everybody know he's ready. He's like, I'm gonna kick ass. I'm gonna kick ass whether I use my strength or just with my with my black divider and all that jazz. Mimosa, I think she has the least change, or Finro might be. I mean, Finro is getting better at his resistance, so that's a big difference.
That's a big.
He's getting better. He's getting better. He's not there yet, but he's getting a lot better. Like he's resisting. It's still a challenge. It's not easy. Mimosa, I don't think she has that much change. Unless you wanna like get too much detail. The best you can get is from the bath scene, but I'm not gonna go there.
That certainly caused a bit of a discussion because I remember.
Yeah, I mean it's weird because it's like I'm like it's weird because it's weird in how many chapters 240 chapters in, well, around that point it
About
was
yeah,
like what 232 around that point.
I
It's
think it was
like
32. Yeah,
yeah, it was like around that point. It's like, well, because when we have like one bath scene back with the whole tournament arc, didn't we have one there? So it's like I don't see any difference. It's like it's like this is a anime manga thingy 101. It's gonna be a bath scene one way or another. So it's like it didn't
even One
bother
Piece
me.
has it.
I'm like, yeah. Oh, and then I'm thinking to myself, like, who must be new here? Because if you would have read more and you would have stumbled upon Fairy Tale,
I
you'd
was
be
gonna
numb.
say that.
You'd be 100% numb to this scene. You'd be like, all right, fan service time. Cool. Because when Fairy Tale happens, you're gonna be like that for the entire chapters, the entire series. Because I don't know how can you escape from that. That's all I'm
The first thing that
saying.
went through my mind, dude. I was like, wow, if you guys are freaking out about this, I'm like, go see Fairy Tale. Because damn,
Yeah, I sound like a parody of Family Guy. You think that's bad? It's like that's worse than this. Oh god, but yeah, but it didn't bother me. But like I said, I guess in that region, so to say, maybe Mimosa updated there. I mean, I'm pretty sure she got better and her magic. That's for sure. We're
Oh
probably
yeah.
going to see that soon too, in more of a disastrous way. But we'll get to that when we get to that. I'm pretty sure Noelle probably got better in her magic with the armor and all that. So I'm looking forward to that. Finro, well, he got better resistance. So there's that.
He's improved.
Asta, yeah, he's improved. Asta definitely got improved, and he's definitely getting better at using his sword without having trouble adjusting to it. Now he's like pretty much accustomed to it, which is great.
I think. See, so speaking about him using his sword, right? I don't know how your reaction was, but when he was gliding on his sword, I was like, okay, I know it didn't really be a big deal, but damn, that happened.
Yeah, he could actually use his sword as his flying mechanism now. I'm like, yay, that's true.
I
Like
was
a
like,
flying nimbus. He's like a flying nimbus. Only there's no worries about being pure. It's like, oh no, I'm not pure enough, so I can't ride it anymore.
I can't get on a broom, and he and somehow within the 6 month time skip, he's like, you know what? Who needs a broom? I'll ride my sword. I'm like, huh? That's true.
But that's charming too.
Yeah, there is charming.
Yeah, the, the Heart Kingdom was a big mistake, no pun intended. No, I did like what's his name? Real? I did like
Oh
Real.
yeah, with his reaction.
Yeah, he's like, oh, I was like, I'll stop this. I'll stop this mad woman. But man, I wish I could meet this wonderful woman. And it was like, that's the exact same one you just stopped.
I was
It's
gonna
like,
say that too. I was like,
I was like, oh God. I was like, is this like somehow we're gonna have a strange love triangle in the future?
you're right.
It's like, oh no, it's Charmy loves and Real loves Charmy. So I was like, oh God, where do we where do we go from here?
You're right. It took 200 chapters, but I got a love triangle for I think, because I didn't even know how
We
Feels about
That's true.
Charming. I think the other thing we could, that could be brought into discussion is essentially the Spades Kingdom itself, because these dudes are an interesting bunch of characters. That's the best way I can put it, because I mean, we kind of already knew this information like before the time skip happened, but the fact that they're all kind of serving under Magicula, which is again the devil that's responsible for cursing Noelle's mom, is I think that should be pointed out. But and kind of again going off from what Sparta said, we find out that Uno guy that I've been calling for since the last podcast is Venom. It's like, okay, so the dude that look was like, yeah, I don't know. I say I want to fight people all the time. That's the one dude I don't want to face. And I remember at the time I was like, look, what did you see? What was the thing that freaked you out the most? It does kind of hold one of those things where I'm like, all right, so you got this guy named Zenom, and whatever he did freaked Luck out, which is something that's going to be pointed out. And then you got Dante, who is essentially like helping with the attack that's going through. You get the chick, which I'm kind of blanking on her name at the moment, but
Vonica. I think that's her name.
Monica, there we go. Yeah,
Yeah.
there was a name there somewhere. I knew that. Yeah, there was a thing there too. And I'm drawing a blank. Holy shit. That hasn't happened in a while, guys, but
You can do it. You can do it.
I can do it.
What are you trying to name now? Because you're drawing blanks.
Um, uh, Essentially, I was just trying to like their overall goal.
Well, we don't know what's their goal exactly. We do
Not
know
not
they're
the
going
goal
after.
itself, but like at least figure out like what they're gonna do right now. That's
Oh, well,
yeah.
I mean, they're in a manhunt. That's the story. That's the story of this arc so far.
Hmm.
That these guys are in a manhunt, and they're after the Arcanine. Is that how you pronounce it?
I
Arcanine
oh,
mage. And
Arcane? I think it's Arcane. I might be wrong about that, but I think it's Arcane.
well, I want to say arcane. It's probably is. The only reason why I'm struggling because I want to say it in Japanese form rather than like the English
In English, yeah.
way. Yeah, it's like an English pronunciation. So maybe I would just call arcane for the time being. Arcane stage. They're looking for arcane stage mage. That's what they're manhunt. But anybody else, whoever's in the field or around there, they could just straight up kill them. And
Oh,
boy, they did not joke.
no, they did not.
So you want to talk about the first major development that just happened?
Yeah.
Wow. I'll be honest. When the arc started, I'm thinking, okay, traditionally, in a sense, you always have a villain. You always have a villain to show off their strengths, their power, because they're new. That's how it works for shonen series. That's fine. That's acceptable. But when it comes to demonstration, I thought this was one of the better ones to showcase how powerful, how crazy they are. Like not only that, but like it just raised the stakes. Again, this is like the as I mentioned earlier, this is like the Dragon Ball. Dragon Ball was all fun and games, and then when Piccolo sagas began, it got dark. Like it set the tone immediately once you have Krillin, Goku's best friend, dead. And I know the running joke, he'd been dying so many times, and that's true. But this is the first time when you watch Dragon Ball for the first time, starting with Dragon Ball, not knowing what happened after that. That's a huge shock. That was considered a huge shock. I mean, I wasn't there to see it because I saw the Dragon Ball Z, like a lot of American first time watchers. That's just us. But
I was
again,
the rare group that actually saw Dragon Ball first. I was like, oh shit.
lucky you, you got the see. You start Dragon Ball Z, you be like, okay, Raditz. Raditz be like, I'm your brother, Goku or Kakarot, and for us, it'd be like, wow, that was interesting. But for you, it would have been like, oh, what? All this time? Because, you watched Dragon Ball. You didn't know Goku would have a brother. For
I mean,
us, it's
I
just
didn't
literally
think
the
the tail
beginning.
was just one of those things where it's like, yeah, it's up to your imagination. It's like, yeah, he just turned into a giant monkey and causes. And I was like, okay, fine. No big deal.
So it was a lot of different reaction experience when you start with somewhere in the middle, technically in the middle, which Dragon Ball Z was considered a middle, but
Mhm.
yeah. Anyway, so going back to what I was saying, like when Krillin died, it set the tone that this saga is going to be dark. It's going to be brutal. So this essentially is the Piccolo moment. This setting the tone what this arc is going to be about. Well, not be about, but how the tone is going to be. This is going to be death. They're going to be blood. They're going to be deaths. The stakes are high. They're much higher than even the last arc. Like last arc, everybody wants revenge, but everybody was intact. Everybody was in place. Everybody could outsmart them, outplay them, or whatever. Here, this was an ambush. The other one wasn't an ambush. It was more like a war just declared right in the middle of the field.
Oh yeah,
And not only that, but the good guys started first. The Clover Kingdom started the attack first. So it was like, okay, everybody was in even ground. Here, this came out of nowhere. The Spade Kingdom just invade. Dark Rights just invade out of nowhere. And you got one guy. Well, he brought two minions, but the fact this one guy could actually the fact that one guy can actually handle the entire guild is insane.
it
It's
is.
like it's crazy. So like yeah, when I started reading this arc, I haven't reviewed the series in a while. Planning to come back again very soon. So I'm looking forward to discuss more on that. But a lot of people have been asking me questions much more often than ever because this arc was different. It's different in a good way. Now that we're evolved, we're setting a different tone. Again, it's a good timing. It's 234 chapter by the point where Zeno shows up. By that time, you people would like to get a different vibe, a different feel. You don't want to be like fairy tale where it's always similar for the majority. It's always a similar feel. Like it's always going to be playful. It's always going to be easy handed victory, friendship speech, friendship punch, whatever. Not comma this, not comma that. With Black Clover, they're changing up with this time skip. And he didn't think I didn't think that since you started with Asta showing his power up, which was cool. But like when Zeno shows up, everything changes. It's like, oh crap. I think we need 6 more months to get better, should we? Because
You're
this
right.
is a big difference, guy. we're it's like you would think 6 months everybody would be in a equal, not equal, but like a good enough
Like a
to
similar playing field where it's like, okay, they're not exactly at their level, but they're in that range.
right. No, we're still far away, and this arc shows that.
Oh,
Starting from 234, that's where everything just goes straight to hell. I really wasn't expecting the Golden Dawn to get wiped out this easily, and
right?
yeah, not only that, but I didn't expect deaths come about for everywhere. I was like, wait, what's happening? It's like I'm seeing a lot of fatalities. Am I missing something? Ooh, it's like did he stop reading fair? Well, okay, like it's not fair to say he be reading fairy tale. I mean, yes, I could just argue I'm only referring to magic, but a lot of people probably thinking like, oh, you got this friendship speech. I'm not thinking that way, but what I'm trying to say is like I think Tabata just finished reading fairy tale. Like, all right, that was all playful. I'm gonna read Kimetsu no Yaiba. Ooh, deaths. I should do that for myself too. So that's what he pretty much done. Ooh, I'm gonna
I
go
know,
killing
Kimetsu no
spree.
Yaiba, or if you want to go another series, not in the same wavelength, but the latest chapter of Eden Zero, guys. Yeah, I'm not gonna say
Oh.
anything. But
Yeah, they're having their moment of like, huh, this is more like it. Let's put it that way.
right,
So yeah, fair tale. Sorry, Black Clover. Yeah, it was just going dark. It was just getting the stakes was getting more real, like in the sense because like lives is on the
right,
line. It's even crazier. What actually bugged me, believe it or not, was actually Yuno's first win in this arc. The fact he
Ooh,
legitimately killed a guy. He just killed him, man. I was like, let's see. This is Shonen Jump. This is Black Clover. I thought I was reading a sinning series where hey, we kill people because why not? It's weird. I was like, did you just kill him, man? I don't
I
know.
was like, all right,
Maybe.
I've read Attack on Titan, but this, what?
Oh yeah, exactly. Like I know Attack of Titan still often get confused. It's not sending. It's like it's not sending. Yeah, I know a lot of holy f moments, but it
It
is
does feel like
shonen
a seinen
still,
at
guys.
times, though. I'll give it that.
What was that?
I said it does feel like a seinen, though.
It does. Like even the gore part, it's like, I really didn't see this coming. I was like, I
Nope.
thought that's not like I think I was like at this point, I guess the only reason it's not sending is because no sex scene, maybe. So I don't
Right?
know. I don't know anymore. I mean, hey, at least it's being more like the old shonen days where it's like there was no whole bar. You see decapitation because why not? It's crazy. Anyway, so Black Clover, yeah, like people were getting murdered left and right. I'm thinking that these people are just knocked out. Be like fairy tale cop out feel, or like how like a lot of series tend to do, but like they just got knocked out really bad. I'm like, oh, okay, I thought they died. The same thing. Actually, One Piece is more guilty with that. Honestly speaking, One Piece is really guilty of that. I mean, not anymore. At least we'll see. But back
Greatest
then,
example, use Pell. Pell took a nuke. Pell
oh
took a nuke. Never gonna forget that. I
boy.
still remember it was like Pell went out. I'm like, Pell, my heart goes out. And then you see him at the end. I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, I know they're trying to redeem itself by making a gag by saying like, "Wait a minute, I die," but why? But my point was that One Piece was actually pretty guilty for having no casualties. Everybody was always a KO in a very almost near death, but they'll be okay way. Like pretty much the GI Joe movie change up for every character. No, no worry, he ain't dead. He just went to a coma. I was like, oh, okay. I was about to say, I thought he died. He just went to a coma.
I'm in a coma. I'm like,
Everybody's in a coma. The only people that die is flashbacks, but they don't count. So I'm thinking that's the case for this series. No, they really die. Like there's a lot of death, and I guess that means those people at Diamond Kingdom really did die instead of like, oh, they just got knocked out pretty bad. They're in the comatose. Don't worry, everybody. But yeah, everybody was getting brutalized, murderized, whatever order lies. And then Yuna just got a kill by legitimately cutting him in half. I'm like,
Legit.
huh. Yeah, I'm thinking, I honestly thought the next chapter would be like, ha ha ha, you thought you killed me.
Think
But guess
again.
what? Yeah, I got the ultimate regeneration. I was like, no, you're dead. You got cut in half. You got brutalized. Oh, I'm
Which
very
kind of
shocked.
got me thinking because I was like, okay, the elves invasion arc, which was again for me. I mean, I think you could echo this too. I was like, okay, that was the best arc in Black Clover, and in the back of my head, I kind of thought, well, huh. I kind of wonder what Tabata was gonna have in store for like the next arc. Even though the last arc before this one was technically like a bit of like a mini arc in a sense, but it was kind of more or less a transitional arc in and of itself. Getting this and seeing what we got, I was like, I asked how he was gonna top himself.
I mean, like I said, he could have just gone doing the same thing as he was doing before,
Mhm.
even if it would have been feel like a repetitive thing. Now is a good time to pull this off. For those who complain about like, damn, there's no casualties in the last arc, even though I wasn't too bummed out to be honest, but you got your answer here apparently. I was like, well then, here you go. We just ranking up those kills. Don't worry, we
He
still have
probably
more to
looked,
come.
he probably looked in the comments being like, "It's like you made us feel for Julius."
You know,
And
I don't recall the negative reaction when the anime did it. Maybe
yeah, I
maybe
remember that too. Yeah,
yeah, there wasn't that much. Surprisingly, I was like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, cool. I mean, like honestly, I was never like really upset. I was just more
I
like
wasn't either.
confused.
Yeah,
I was more confused than upset. But then I accepted, and plus it was like the first ever like I escaped death card with one of his character, and Julius is the one, and it had a good reason to it. So I was like, all right,
and they
fine,
kind
that's
of
cool.
hinted at it too.
Yeah, I mean, like again, you look at Fairy Tale last arc, they did
Oh,
like they did it at least 4 times. I'm not
I
even
mean,
joking. They did it 4 times of fake out death. One in which supposed to be death, but no. Apparently, you could escape death, and let alone you could escape this prison magic attack where you're supposed to die in order to release it, but apparently you can escape that with a near death. I don't know. I guess they just established that somehow, some way. They sort of did that with One Piece, but they always establish that before they do something about it. Because it's always funny to me, like there's one guy, he will never stop moving the ship unless we kill the man. Or, you could just knock him out. Like, oh, okay, knock him out. Yep, he then knock him out. Of course, no death policy in the series. Yeah, when Yuno shows up, things just gets crazy. A lot, some people ask me like, would it be fine if Yuno lose in this battle? I'm like, well, I mean, he probably lose to Zeno. I don't think he would lose to the first guy he met.
no,
It wouldn't hurt because the fact is, did struggle against this one man, and went all in just to kill one man. Kill, not to. Oh, I'm gonna put you to sleep. Well, yeah, he put him to sleep forever, but
nope.
anyway. So yeah, but if he were to match up to Zeno, if he were to beat Zeno, yeah, that would hurt the credibility of the villain.
I would
The,
have been like,
the
what?
like it was like rocks. It was rock solid with them just annihilating the entire guild. And they had to go. They were close with Claus, and then Yuno shows up, and then everything hits the fan when Zeno returns with a really beat up, sorry, really beat up Vargas. And then when they started fighting, it's like, holy crap, they have no chance to win. And yeah, they definitely had no chance to win. What chapter is it? 238? Yeah, 238 was pretty damn gruesome. Like, wow, I never see such annihilation in a while, but this was taking
No,
the cake.
it was.
like like the way how they were structuring, like he never looked this tense to this arc. He never looked this emotion. No, he would never look this emotional. It felt like I was reading like a sending series where they display the character's emotion in a more raw sense. Like you always like kind of like how when like for instance, Tokyo Ghoul when Kaneki gets hurt real bad, the speech bubble would be filled with
It was
ah.
bad. Yeah.
It's like this one feels like very like it gets more rawer and rawer when every each passing character getting killed, getting beat down. Like I thought Claus and the Compass Girl died. I was like, holy shit, what's going on with this arc? I was in the message is like the mess. One of the person that actually told me, one of the people that followed me actually told me, don't read this chapter. This is too upsetting. I was like, yeah, shit.
Yeah.
Uh
See, the thing is, I saw that post like right before I read the chapter, so I was like, "How messed up is?" And then I read the chapter. I'm like, "Oh shit." Oh,
so Zeno, he's actually impressed of strength. And I really like how they did this last part because like went all in, but even with the spirit of I can't pronounce that name. Basically, with the extra boost to the magic, he cannot even penetrate through the freaking bones. Which, by the way, that's pretty damn awesome. A bone magic is that's definitely new.
boy.
It's like it's pretty much like dealing with Kimimaro from Naruto.
I
But
was
we'll
just
see how
about to
far.
say that too. Yeah, it kind of did remind me of that.
So let's see how far this goes in terms of like creation, creativity from Zeno himself. But yeah, like he just overpower him all the way. Like you would think would have some hit on him, but then he's like, all right, you're actually pretty good. Problem is, I'm in a run, so I'm just gonna go 55% of my devil's power, and what a massive difference that made.
It was a
But
massive.
I personally love that. I personally love that last sequence where he go 55%. You see the devil behind him is like holy shit. It's like it just got chills from it, and then I just like how he's like, don't get me wrong. You're not weak. I'm simply far stronger. And just like that
Oh,
arrogance, that arrogance attitude, the artwork. I'm like, my God, you really went out of your way with this art, didn't you?
it really
Because
did.
God, it was awesome. And then after that, they just lost. Everybody lose. Everybody got defeated. Everybody's on the brink of death. Some people died. Then 239 happens. It was very depending on the follow up. This is one time I came back to review. I was gonna review the last chapter, but I was more overwhelmed as well as I was busy with other things. But I was more overwhelmed on what I just saw. But 239 was like more like a chapter that really needs to really needs to follow up in a good way. Because if it's like again, if everybody were to be beat down but not dead, it would just ruin it. Honestly, I would have been upset. I would actually be upset, but like, oh, everybody's in a coma. I thought they died.
It's true. They would. It would have been like, I'm like, y'all built that much suspense. Yeah, it's all to this point. And it's like, it's okay, guys. The doctor just came out and said they're stuck in a coma. And I'm like,
Who
like
said they're dead? Nobody said they're dead. That's a lot of blood loss, but they're not dead.
it's like one step away from like bringing in the character and being like, yeah, I'm sacrificing my life to bring back. I don't know how many people are stuck, but a dozen.
And, honestly, it could have pulled a main invasion ending arc, which that would actually upset me too.
And what a like
What is this?
again?
There's a giant summoning that's giving life back to everybody. Claws, everyone. Wow. It's like nothing. It's like everything that happened was just nothing at all. But yeah, I really was depending on this arc really badly.
It was, yeah.
My prediction was maybe the fairy was gonna save Yuno, or at least postpone his death, or pretty much just save his life in general.
Mhm.
All you need is just healing treatment. But to my surprise, he was legitimately dying. It was
Whoa.
kind of shocking. I was actually kind of puzzled to see that he was going to die. Like the fairy was actually disappearing to say like, well, your owner has died. Time to get a new one. It's pretty sad. I was like, holy crap,
Oh my god,
is this
damn.
happening?
No. Oh,
So I was like,
no.
okay, if this is happening, somebody got to save him. Something got to happen, and something did happen, and that's because William actually left a emergency magic, a world tree recovery magic buddy of, I can't pronounce that name. I'm sorry, but pretty much it's a magic tree that recovers everybody's health. Now, from what I heard like when initially the spoiler kind of misleads some people to think that it revived people.
I didn't do that
Realistically,
necessarily.
right. It didn't revive people. It helped people from. It's like, what game was it? I wanted to Final Fantasy X, but I could be wrong. There was a game, a RPG game, where technically you should be dead. Like you got like 95 HP. This guy's about to do attack 100 attack. No matter if you're about to die or whatever, you will automatically recover 20 health because you got an item that you was holding. That's like that for this case. Everybody, whoever's alive, whoever was close to death, if the tree comes about and it's recover you, you'll be safe. Pretty much everybody got lucky. Everybody got safe, whoever didn't die. So Klaus didn't die, the Compass Girl didn't die, and you would think I like this because it kind of deceived a lot of people, myself included, thinking that this world tree was gonna be like a revival jar for everybody. But even though
The
when
one with
things got a little,
the
yeah, even though when things got a little hopeful, like the more you when you change the next page, you realize there are people that still died because realistically, the magic tree only recovered the health. It's not a revival. It's just a magic healing. So if you died, you're dead. That's it. That's the end of story.
Yep.
There's no coming back from that. It's not a revival. It's a healing magic.
There ain't no Dragon Ball that's gonna be there to be like, okay, make one wish and like revive the fallen comrades. Like, it's
Yeah.
done.
Yeah. So what you essentially have is half of Golden Dawn coming back to life and embrace the despair of those who has fallen.
Mhm.
That to me is pretty sad.
It is.
And I was surprised to see the character that did die, especially Harmon. I was like, he died?
He did
He's
it.
actually dead?
Damn.
I was like, holy shit, he died. Like it's not like he was just here one time. Oh, he's been around like 4 or 5 arcs, I think. And he was actually pretty fun during the tournament arc. And now he's dead. I'm like, shit.
Yeah, he was.
I didn't see that happening. I was actually shocked still. But but like again, I like this approach with the word magic tree because it's not like it was reviving everybody. It only revived not
But the
revive.
one who was
It
still
only
alive.
yeah, it only helps the people that's still alive. So just imagine if Claus, Compass Girl, and were there like, I don't know, 5 minutes earlier getting destroyed. If the trade came too late, they would have been dead.
It would
All
have.
of them would have actually been dead. That's how crazy. That's a great way to show how threatening, how insane Dark Terrain, let alone Zeno, are. Because now they are capable to kill everybody. They got lucky because of the tree. I mean, we already know Vangas can do that. It's established a while back. So we already know that he could do stuff like that. It's not like an ass pour or anything like that.
No, it's
And the fact that Vangas is not here anymore, we don't even know what's going to happen to him. It's like a lot of things. It's just go. There's a lot of possibilities to think over. But here, it set the tone that we know that these guys are no joke. These guys will kill people. These guys can kill people. And this just took out what's supposed to be one of the strongest, if not the strongest guild. I mean, yeah, we know we've been following Black Bull, but remember, Golden
Golden Dawn
Dawn
is
is
almost as important throughout the story.
exactly, and the fact that they just get wiped out like that, Vanga's included, is
It
mind
really is a
blowing.
lot. Hell,
So
let's assume like the big thing didn't show up until like it was too late, right?
yeah,
I think
like
it would have been pretty ballsy for Tabata to be like, and now your rival is dead. I would be like, whoa.
I think mine would lose their everybody would lose their head if that was the case.
Be like, what? You killed a rival character?
Wow, I did not see that coming. No, really, I didn't see that coming. But yeah, like again, there's a big difference between if you would have everybody getting beat down but not dead versus everybody was very close to dead, but then the tree saved those who didn't die yet. There's a
Mhm.
major difference between those two.
Personally,
And the latter made Dark Tide far more credible than it needed to be. And it's great because we need a threatening villain. We
we
need
do.
villains that can be downright serious to the point that you like, it kind of remind me how the Incredible says, like, this ain't comic book. These bad guys will kill you. They will shoot you at sight. They would they would take you down, they will kill you, no matter if you're a kid or not. It's like that. It's like this is serious. This we're not playing around anymore. We're not in the playfield anymore. These people will die when they meet them, when they confront them. And for all we know, we're probably not done with the death toll. That's the scary part. I mean, Golden Dawn just got pretty much annihilated.
I know, like half their squad is like, it's like, well, we lost our men. Gotta prep up those funerals soon. After this fight's done, I'm like, yeah, I mean, I gotta make sure we figure out something. And plus, like, kind of going off from what you said, especially coming off from like the elves, which
Hmm.
already left a mark on the Clover Kingdom. I mean, you got their viewpoint finally, but then kind of came back to that thing where it's like, okay, so how exactly do you go past that? And then
Hmm.
you bring Dark Triad, and it's like, never mind, answer solved. But that answer came with pretty dark outcomes.
Yeah. You would think they would just show off more of their trainings, like, oh, as a vice captain, and he got better because 6 months has passed. I mean, yeah, they show him that, but it didn't stop. It didn't stop Zeno to show off how golly he really is right now. So I was like, oh, I still need another 6 months. If you don't mind.
Right?
At this rate, they probably going to use all 10 openings in order to defeat one villain.
Exactly.
That's how bad they are. And it also helps out with the other two villains, Monica and Dante. It
Dante,
helps
yeah.
out a lot because again, if Zeno was only just knocking them down and everybody, and or the fact he struggled against if that was going to be the case, then what is there to be afraid of? Like, oh, they're chumps. They're gonna be easy. No, we established them. These guys are high level threat, red alert, or whatever the highest level you could say. Pretty much, they're no jokes. So that's good. That's a good way to start. By the time the chapter ends, you got Varnica set sight on the princess, Heart's Kingdom, which that was like, you see, if beforehand, everybody survived from the attack, I would have been like, well, okay, this is gonna be another battle, you know. But after that, I'm like, oh shit, this is not good. This is not good.
Where we
Wait,
gonna
I don't
go
even
going
think.
with it?
Yeah, I was like, wait a minute, I don't even think Asta's back home. Is he still home? I don't remember.
I don't think.
Shit. Yeah, so I was like, oh god, that means Noelle has to take care of her. Oh damn it. And then you got Dante who can freaking float. But that was actually a hint to his magic, which is pretty damn cool too. But I guess we're gonna get to that very soon. And he set it on target on Yami. I was like, Yami? Oh.
No, I'm like,
My
Yami.
man
Hi.
Yami.
I was like, okay, Yami, I know you don't back down, but watch your six. Watch whatever you.
Oh goodness. So then we got 240.
Ooh, 240.
Yeah, this is before the break, by the
Oh
way.
yeah.
There's
There was a break. We should have addressed that too.
yeah, there was a break. Was it after this or before this?
I
Before
think
this, right?
it might have
Why
been
it feels
before.
like no, there was a break before this chapter.
Yeah.
There was all right. After 239, there was a break.
Yeah.
And then 240 happened. Yeah, I remember now. I don't know why I feel like that was double back to back break. So 240 came about. You know, it feels like it's all cheery because you got a fat Charmy and you got the princess just playful. You know, it was all nice and dandy. And then by the second page, it's like, oh, never mind. No more games. Damn. Wow. We're really getting dark, aren't we? I was still wondering if Asta came back, and apparently no, he's
Nope.
actually still away, which is not a good sign.
No, it's not.
But was I think the more shocking from this chapter to me is the fact that Vonica, you would think I thought Mega Kula, I think that's how you say it.
It's either
I
that or
thought,
Ezekiel. I think it's one of the two.
yeah, I'm just waiting for the anime to correct me.
Right?
uh, I thought Dante would have Megacoola being possessed, but surprisingly, it's Vonica has it. So I'm like,
That
oh
threw me for
shit.
a loop. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm thinking like, okay. I was like, yeah, it is bad news, but the fact that Vonica has Megacoola, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Back there has that the same devil that Noel has been chasing for. That's surprising. I guess you could say, well, she got her wish coming true in a way, but this is gonna be really bad. Um, Again, Zenon shows how threatening he can be, how threatening the group can be. We don't know how bad Veronica can be, and if I recall correctly, if correct me if I'm wrong, but isn't Zenon technically new to the faction?
I believe so.
Because I remember before time, well, no, not before, after time skip.
Yeah.
Right after time skip, I believe it was Vonica that asked him, or was it Dante? It's like, hey, you got used to the devil yet, or what? It's like how it's like you got used to it. It's like, well, yeah, I got better at it, I guess. So that means he's new. What about these two then, Dante and Vonica? Because that's scary.
Especially when you go back to like 227 and you get to the end of that chapter, you're like, yeah, because you wonder, like, okay, so what did Luck see? And then we see what happened to Yuno. It's like, well, shit, never mind. Well, I can see how Luck's like, nah, I'm not, I ain't messing with him. I know I said Luck's like the strongest guy, but no, I want him away. I'm like, all right.
um,
Yeah, just how powerful are the other two then? Shit.
what was that?
I said, just how powerful are the other two then? If you saw what Zenom did.
Yeah, that's I don't even want to think about it. It was much worse because one person asked me, which one you think has more bigger stakes, and I said, I think honestly it's with the situation at the Heart Kingdom
Hmm.
because when you look at Dante, we'll get to that soon. When you look at Dante, he's after Yami, and they're gathering arcane stage made for some reason we don't know yet. But so far they got William. That's one down. Now they need Yami. With the situation at the Heart Kingdom, they are not taking anyone. They're pretty much in a take no prisoner mode, meaning everybody is going to die here. They after the princess, they're gonna kill her. There's no like, oh, we got her hostage. No, they're gonna kill her. So forget about worrying about the curse gonna kill you. They're gonna do it now. That's scary. Also, what's scary is that, there's no main character, there's no protagonist. I mean, you got main character Noelle, but is she ready for this? And you're fighting the main, supposedly the main boss. So how's this gonna work? You know?
Right?
Like, okay, right now they got what they got. Let's see, they got Mimosa, Noelle, Charmy. If she could be serious again, the dwarf version. If she could go back to that, now it's a very good time. Then she had her guard, and then the prince has her guardian, and we know she's strong herself as well. But man, if the gap doesn't close enough with well, I think this one, two, she has three henchmen. Veronica, that is, she has three guys. Remember back at Golden Dawn, Xena brought two, and they did a massive damage already. So bringing in three, they could take care of the guards easily, for all we know. And Varnica, I don't even know. I'm just scared at that point. Maybe just me, but the fact that we're focusing on Dante first kind of makes it seem like whatever stuff that happens with Dante, we're gonna see way more worse stuff that's gonna happen from Veronica. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like a sequence of event that says like each passing character it gets much worse. Like okay, Zenon was serious. He was scary. He was terrifying. He just take out everybody one go. And then you just have somebody else say, "You think that's bad? Wait till you see Dante." And then Dante did some crazy stuff we'll get to soon. And then now that we're getting close to whatever that comes to the end for this part, unless Yami shows up, but we'll see. Then within top of that, we'll be like, you think that's bad? We'll see. You know, at least that's how I see it. Like every sequence of events, it gets worse and worse.
Oh yeah.
And where Dante comes first, that means we're going to see something even much worse than with Fanica, because I'm not handling this.
No, I'm not either.
It's scary because like there's death flags back in a couple of chapters for the princess. There's death flags showing like she's finally having a great time. She's finally living a normal life. Now this happens, like, oh shit, this is death flag all this time. That's not good.
Like, how are they gonna get out of this situation? Especially with her there.
Yeah, I don't even know. Oh boy, I hope they have enough reinforcement. I don't even know if did Real left. Did he leave?
He did.
He leave, right? He left, right? I mean, Real would have helped a lot, maybe. Oh god. We'll get to that soon because I kind of like it's weird. Like I'm not saying as a very I'm not saying in a bad way by any means, by no means, but like I kind of wish I could skip the whole Dante part just because I'm very curious what's going to happen at Heart Kingdom. But like again, don't get me wrong, because that's not what I'm trying to say. I'm not saying this is Actually, this is actually pretty interesting, especially that Dante has discovered that there's another arcane stage. That's
what kind of blew my mind too. I was just like, huh.
Yeah.
I was like, there's two.
There's two. And I'm pretty surprised. Like, I'm really intrigued how Tabata has been handling the characters as of late, you know?
Yeah, I'm too.
Because you get a part of it. They get to the nitty and gritty. I think that's how you say it. Yes.
What they call it?
Yeah. Like these characters are getting down to the more heavy stuff. It's not like, well, I'm just a joke character, so I'm not gonna do anything.
Like they're actually showing the weight of like what's coming upon them.
Yeah. Now apparently Veronica is getting involved because the fact that she's actually an arcane stage. Which, by the way, a lot of people don't know yet, but Viz translation actually made an error. They call her stage 0. That's actually a mistake.
I saw that, yeah.
Oh yeah, they corrected though. They corrected. That was nice of them.
Yeah.
But yeah, the real truth is that Veronica is actually a arcane stage, which is no joke around. Because like again, Yami's arcane stage. What's his name? William is arcade stage, and now Veronica was as one as well. So it's like, holy crap, we're getting these characters involved like in a cool way. I'm really interested to see how this development goes. Yeah, so it stops at Asta surfboarding his sword to go against Dante, and I'm like, well, good luck.
Yeah, so I was like, all right, cool. I was like, Asta's there, that's cool, but I'm worried.
I'm like, good luck, man.
I was like, you look badass on your little surf sword, but
yeah,
good luck.
Look at the bright side. He had a shiny moment before this part happened. So
he did.
I will give him fine.
A shiny moment.
Then, okay, so
where the devil comes into play, though, because that is something I haven't seen too many people talk about.
The word devil, you said?
Like the devil that resides with him.
That's the devil. You're talking about. We're gonna get to that kind of soon, right? About the whole devil. Yeah. So now Viz hasn't, as of this time recording, Viz hasn't released the official translation for Black Clover.
No, they hadn't.
Some because it's quite funny because before the decade started, or maybe it did started around the decade, the usual fan translation like Manga Stream, Jamini Box.
Yeah, that name was even weird.
They
Something.
all they all folded, and they're no longer translating Weekly Shonen Jump series anymore. But Manga Street got taken down hard, for some
Did.
reason. I was like, "Whoa, somebody nuked them." So
Yeah, like
yeah, that was.
it just happened overnight. Like Manga Stream, no more. I'm like, what?
Yeah, I found out through the subreddit from Black Clover, like, oh my god, what happens to this manga stream? When Gemini Fox might go down too. And then they made an announcement, yeah, they're no longer doing it because they got serious. Su Shueisha got pretty serious about the whole use of copyright content and whatnot. I mean, I don't blame them,
No, I don't mind
but
that.
it does. But hey, it did help out a lot when it comes to use the official manga source to read them, because the view went up a lot because
Yeah.
that's their only source now. Yes, there are other translation which we're about to read off from. Black Clover apparently has a new guys to work on because, well, these guys love Black Clover, so why not deliver the love with a new chapter and an early release? So that's what we have now. Normally I would have just waited, but we're gonna make this exception. Probably continue on if anything, because so long the translation is corrected, so long the translation fits the same line as the official one, instead of like, because I know there's some other series that doesn't have a good luck with the translation. Like, whoa, this translation looks bad. I forgot what series was it. I was like, oh man, I don't even know this being
What is
serious.
this?
Yeah, that was like, yeah, that's a rough translation. For all we know, it'd probably just be the same for Black Clover, but I'm gonna be the judge of that when the official comes out.
Oh
So in the
yeah.
meantime, we're gonna use the translation one.
Going from there, which was a lot. So Asta's going in. You got what I dubbed the base as Mobius. We're gonna keep that as a running joke, by the way, guys. So you got Asta, you got Dante using gravity magic, presence of the Demon King, attacking while nullifying my attack. You are better than I expected. And then Asta like just checking from behind, like, what in the world's going on? And Dante just thinking like, what was that just now? It's the same as before. Asta's using he's charging in with Vanessa's cat. I forgot what it was called, but he's got that with her. It's like magic that manipulates natural laws.
I forgot the
And
cat name too, though.
yeah, it's got a name. I know that guy. I'm aware it has a name, but
Rogue. I think it's Rogue, if I
Rogue.
remember right.
Okay,
I think it's Rogue.
seems
I'm
like
gonna actually check it while you read. I'll be right back.
yeah.
Read it though.
As Asta's surfing through, and as he's going for an attack, you see Dante going for Mobius, and he's like, "You are the owner of this cat, I see. Two of you stay behind Rogue." Okay, or yeah, it is Rogue. Yeah, they say right here in the chapter.
You know, for the record, I made a major mistake on the name. I don't know why I call her Veronica for some reason. Vanessa. Sorry. I was like, wait, why the hell I call her Veronica?
But oh yeah, shit.
I don't know why I call her Veronica. What the hell what series I even read? No, none. Yeah, that was my mistake, everyone. I'm so sorry.
It has been a while since we've done the podcast, so
Yeah.
makes sense.
Yeah, it's been a while. But it's Vanessa. I apologize for the major blooper on my part. Oh boy. So it was Rogue, right? The cat is?
Roge, yeah, Rogue. Rogue or Rogue,
BFs.
one of the two.
Rogue. I think it's Rogue in the way how they pronounce it.
Things like that, yeah.
I gotta see the anime again. Why the hell I'm still puzzling on why I call her Veronica.
It's a good question. I was like, huh.
Maybe I got mistaken with Veronica from the Dark Terrain.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, you probably got mixed up with Vonica.
Too many V name.
I know too many. You got Gray in the
Most.
back too. You got Ghosh and
Somehow we
Asta,
know his name.
and you got Asta coming in too. Like, hey, fight with me. And I don't know what Dante did, but
It's like, no thanks.
like, no, that's a screaming Asta. This man's magic not only is it strong, but it also has a wide range. And he's like, magic that bends the natural laws and that beauty style. Suitable for me, Dark Triad Dante. Nonchalantly, he's like, you be my woman. She's like, wait, what? Like, Dark Triad? This bastard is the one who's ruling the Spades Kingdom? Is what Gojo is saying, and then he's like, what nonsense are you blabbering about all of a sudden? I'm not fooling around. I mean, as to still going in, not exactly devil mode per se, but accessing its abilities. Like, you are the head of the villain, and Dante, as Asta's about to go in, he decides to flip back. Said, "This is surprising for a Clover Kingdom to have a devil possession." You got Asta, or you got him using Black Divider, and Vanessa, like, he dodged an anti-magic attack that tracks down the mana so easily. Then he uses Black Meteorite. Still, Dante's like dodging the shit. He's like, "Is that all you got? Really?" And Asta's thinking like, "What? It won't hit." And Ghosh, if he dodges, then you just have to attack as many times as you get to the point where it's inevitable. That was unexpected for him to come, but if we get him down, then this troublesome journey's over. And then you have Asta, you got Ghosh. Look at me, and he uncovers his eye, uses mirror magic, mirrors brigade, and Dante's noticing something, and then you see mirror me, which okay, this was cool. This was actually pretty cool, where you have like dozens of like black meteorites coming. Asta just screams, "Take this!" Again, Dante's just like, "What in the world?" Just it's like the tides turned against him or something. It's like
Yeah.
it's like shoot it, a strike with all one's soul and might. All one's soul and might. I see what you did there, your translations.
Well, this is fans, so maybe it's like that, or maybe it's just them.
Right?
So that's where the chapter ends. With an announcement that the next chapter will be have a lead page, a lead color page, and a front cover page as well,
Very
which
exciting.
should be pretty damn cool to see how it looks like in color page.
Yep.
Maybe we'll see them in color. Maybe we don't know how they look like. We could only assume that these guys have black hairs, and that's it.
You're right.
We can only assume that. Well, we know it's probably like dark purple or all that craziness.
You're
I
right.
forgot what shares to a lot of people are like, I didn't expect this color hair.
It's like super dark purple, and you mistake it for black. It's like,
Yeah, I mean, you only got two colors in manga, so not really our fault for thinking wrong of the color hair. So yeah, next chapter should be pretty exciting to see where this leads to. I don't know if Dante would get hurt. I don't know if he would just gravity just push him down like or something. We'll see. But now we know. But now we know he has two targets, Yami and Vanessa, which is interesting uptake.
it is. I'm like, huh. And of all the characters, Vanessa.
Yeah, that's pretty makes sense. So makes a lot of sense. I mean that Rouge magic is pretty damn broken as hell. I mean it literally redefined law. So why the hell it should not be arcane stage? But that's cool though. Like again, I'm really impressed how these characters get these relevancy or to be attributes to something. I mean, even with like the whole Goach, that was pretty damn good idea to have the mirror magic to replicate the meteorites from Asta's magic. It's like there we go. We got like now we got like multiple attacks that Dante even's like, oh crap. I did not see this coming.
Like, what
So
you did?
it's stuff like that always intrigues me. I'm like, oh, I like the teamwork. It's never gonna be like. I mean, we'll see in the future, but it doesn't really tells me like we're gonna see that whole moment like, oh, you guys, you stay all the way far back. Me by myself, solo man can handle this person. Like, no, that should not be the case.
It's
Nothing wrong with
like,
having it.
way to go. Yeah, no.
It's nothing wrong with having a team because when there's somebody that's very OP, you might as well have somebody helping you out with it. A lot of series has done this. A lot of series is fine with that. There's nothing wrong with that at all. I mean, yeah, you can have one on one, but now is not the time. Unless you get a master power up beyond belief somewhere somehow. That's not happening for a while.
No, it is not. Not for a good while, anyway.
uh
There is one
Thoughts?
important bit we're
Hmm?
missing from this whole thing. Not necessarily from the chapter itself, but for this arc, which is himself, his lineage.
Yeah, we actually should discuss about that because that's actually pretty important.
Yeah, no, like I just thought about that, right? I'm like, no,
Yeah.
like it was at the tip of my tongue. I was like, I know there's something else, and I was like, oh yeah, and his entire lineage. So I mean, you already know the detail. Apparently is a prince of the Spade Kingdom, which threw me for a loop. Like, okay, I know there was something about that was special because of the necklace, but damn. Like, okay, yeah, yeah, it was like, okay, so he has like a sense of royalty to him, but for the Spade Kingdom though. And that's where I was kind of left with like, okay, I mean, again, I've always been intrigued about much like how I've always been intrigued about like Asta and everybody else. But when you started unveiling that, there's a lot of possibilities where that can go. But what was your thoughts, Sparta?
I mean, when it comes to the person who has the four-leaf clover, it should have come out with no surprise, but it is excuse me, but it is intriguing to say the least. Like he is actually the prince of the Spade Kingdom, which Spade Kingdom is under a major overhaul because the fact is that Dark Tarai, excuse me, took over, and I think the king is dead too, right? If I
I
remember right.
believe so, yeah.
Yeah, they took over the entire kingdom. We don't even know. Well, it seems like they're in a very rough state, but they worship the devil is because reasons, which probably we'll find out soon. But yeah, so it's intriguing that not only finally getting the character development and getting the focus, but he's actually a pretty a pretty what's that word I'm looking for? It's a huge one because come on, Prince of a Kingdom, that's huge, and it begs the question: what he's gonna do if they defeat Dark Tarai somehow, some way? He's gonna go over there and become the prince. Pretty much already established that he's already like a high tier level instead of like working your way to try to be the magic emperor or magic wizard king, whatever. Instead of trying to work your way to be the wizard king of Cloverfield, which in a sense you got it easy handed by going to Spade Kingdom by being a prince. That seems like easy, but we don't know what wanted to do. Well, we actually do, but because he wanted to stay in the Clover
And
Kingdom.
Clover yeah.
But what happens after this arc ends? Maybe he would change his mind. How he's gonna have us? Who's gonna replace that role? That's a big role to fill. We'll see how that goes. But I am intrigued because we're finally get to see Yuno's characters in more in the spotlight. I'm also intrigued and to try and understand one thing. Asta, what's his
Hey,
origin?
I was gonna bring that up too. I was like, well, okay, so we've got that for but that kind of makes you wonder. So where does it Asta tie into all this?
Exactly.
And
And the fact that
I know the biggest thing people were like, oh, they might be brothers. Not after that. You
no,
know,
they're not they're not brothers anymore with that new revelation. Well, someone asked me because this person, I guess this person is really hell bent in a sense. Maybe not that hell bent, but he likes to bring up the theory that Asta is creative, not is created, not really born, like normal birth. It was more like scientifically created. Something like that. That's what they told me. Like he's experimented and he's not real or something like that. That's possible because Why him being the guy to have no magic? I mean, like, that is a good point. I'm just trying to figure out why he was tied in with back in chapter one, the orphanage. Like, both of them were left behind, but why both of them? Like, I understand for safety reasons. We kind of established that, but
That's
what
the
about Asta?
mystery. That's the thing.
Asta's, unless the guy is lying, but I don't know. Like, the guy probably lied about I left you to the orphanage for protection. I don't know. It's weird. It's very, very, very strange. And that's what makes it intriguing because now we could theorize. Now we got a lot of things to talk about. Now we got things to talk about. And we got a lot to anticipate for. That's what makes this series exciting, right? Yeah, but I like the fact that is getting the spotlight. I like his character getting shine, and I do like the fact he did have a big loss. I know he lost against Lich in a sense, but he recovered because it wasn't the consequence because the consequence wasn't dire. This one was. Have he been there early? Have him been stronger? Have him defeat the guy? Nobody would have died. Everybody would have been safe. Well, not everybody, but a good amount would have been safe. Right. Instead, the damage was done because not only William was taken away, but half of the guild are gone. We don't know how Mimosa is going to react when she finds out that her guild got denied later. We don't know how Finrow's brother is going to react because we don't even see him in this whole entire situation. So that left us wondering. That left us wondering what the hell he's at this time. We know Mimosa's at the Heart Kingdom. That's already self-explanatory. But man, when she comes back, it's gonna be pretty rough. Don't know where Yuno's gonna take from there. My theory is that I think what they should do is have Golden Dawn and Black Bull work together because they're both about to lose somebody. Like either Vanessa gets taken away, Yami gets taken away, or both. Even both might taken away. William is taken away. And I know for a fact Golden Dawn are not going to let that slide. There's no way in hell they're gonna let that slide. No way if Yuno's the only one go by himself, I'll be puzzled. I'll be like,
about that. Like, what?
It's like I know he's like one of the main characters, but I think everybody should join along because everybody will react the same. This should
actually be like the elves invasion, but like on a much bigger scale this time.
Right. But the Black Boy might be the same because you got Vanessa might be taken away. Yami might be taken away. It really depends how this goes, how everything goes down with Dante. And then with back at Heart Kingdom, Noelle is about to get like one of the bigger development as well. About to face the one that pretty much essentially killed her mother. So this is gonna be insane. This is
that's the other thing too. It's like yeah, what you guys thought Noelle getting her development when she was saving her siblings? You thought that was the big thing. No, we're going even further, Mike. I welcome it.
This arc is nothing but Tabatas. You think that's bad, or you think that's crazy? You think that's this? You think that's that's pretty much what this arc is boiling down to. Because I'm continuing to be amazed by these developments, these setups, these possibilities from Tabata. Again, you go back to my impression video, which I should be doing a new one soon, but I'll let people know soon one day. Anyway, you look back at my first impression. What is it? I wasn't harsh to the series. I was more like I still felt like there was some potential to behold, and it's definitely showing now. But like back then, it was still not there. It was like still in a very typical star, very normal, generic, whatever you want to say. I wasn't too fond of Noelle. I was okay with her, but it was like it's one of those Sakura character-ish.
The Tsundere types, yeah.
Yeah. That impression, that thoughts, that opinion is
It's
no
completely
longer in my head. It is completely gone. It is like out of this world. It is went straight to the sun. That's how gone it is. That's how much it has changed from my first impression.
and I can definitely echo your thoughts about that too. Because I remember when I started Black Clover, I was like, oh, like all right, look, it's a fun little series. I'm not expecting too much. I was like, okay, maybe it might be like fairy tale, but where like stuff actually makes sense. And to see where we are right now, I'm like, okay. I know I said this during the Elves Invasion arc when I said the series has come a long way, but this arc's continuing that on a much bigger scale too. I'm just like, damn. You look at Black Clover now, and you look at how it was when it first started. It is on a different trajectory now.
Definitely is actually. It's funny because when you look at the anime, I remember it was said it was gonna last to 50 episodes or something like that. 51, 50 or shorter than that.
51, I think. I think it was 51. I could be
It
wrong.
was good. Yeah, I remember I actually joked about it too when I heard that it was only gonna be 51. And I said like, and I quote Studio Period saying like, sorry, Black Clover, Boruto comes first. So I joke about that because I thought, well, Boruto's still going on,
It is.
but I thought Black Clover was going to stop at 51 because that's what we all heard. And it turns out he kept going and going and going and going. Yeah, I agree that it should take a break so that way we could, have more
You
time and
probably
space.
yeah.
They have more time and space and give the animators like more time to create like some spectacular animation, which episode 100 showed that for sure.
It did.
Another episode. And I gotta commend these guys for their hard work because they when you follow their Twitter handle, when you follow their Twitter accounts, they have been posting the updates. They have been posting how excited they've been working for. Like they wish they had more time, but they're like really passionate about their work, and that's cool. We get to see the insight of these studios and their work ethic, like with the time, the efforts, how much it works, the frames. It's pretty cool. I liked it. I gotta respect them. Like I know I'm not a fan. As people know, I'm not really a fan of Studio Period because how they handle the things. They keep using like outsourced materials. It's like, oh no, bad animation time. No,
You're
not
right.
not a not a Naruto Shippuden where the
Versus
pain
Pain?
art
Oh my god.
that the pain arc was very strange in terms of animation. Like first episode was like rough. Second episode was kind of rough, but it got a little better. Third one's fine. Fourth one was biased because they did it for one chapter, for not a chapter, but a
Well,
moment. They they stretched that one moment into like an episode. It was weird and biased, but whatever.
you
That
get to the end of that episode, and you were just like, "Oh, shit's about to go down." Then you see the next thing, you're like, "What the fuck?"
then you got a Looney Tune episode. It was a really high budget Looney Tune episode, so at least we can appreciate that.
I was like, okay, it's got a very unique artistic style, but if you're talking about building up hype from the last episode, it's like wow, that animation style was not exactly what we were expecting.
Yeah. Oh boy.
Thank
I
you so
know.
much.
uh they did a really good job on 120 though. Episode
For this.
120 for Black Clover.
Yeah, but
Supposedly they didn't have too much time, but they did enough to make it so cool and memorable, and it was. I was really hyped for it. I always loved that scene with Yami doing that one attack on the word devil. It always had that like a strong like impact, like oh my god, what a game changer! Like it has that feeling, and I always loved that scene, and I was so happy they did it justice for in the anime, and hey, you have the first opening theme that makes it even better. They did a hell of a job. I gotta commend them for that. I think they're gonna plan to use the light novels to fill up the gap rather than try to get to the manga recent arc.
which I
That's
think
what I
is
heard.
smart because I know they did that for what was the arc? Like it was like right before.
The Witch Forest one?
Yeah, yeah, that one.
Yeah, that helped because I remember in the manga, hey, these characters from the light novel, what a surprise! And that's it. I'm like, wait,
Well,
I don't even know anything about them.
I know that we showed up. I'm like, wait, did I miss something? Like, because it was like the next chapter in. I'm like, wait, did I miss something? Like, how?
Apparently, they were light novel characters, and yeah, that's it. They're light novel characters. But the anime actually gave them the time and space. I think 2 to 3 episodes, like to understand their character, where they come from. I was like, all right, that's cool. Now I'm intrigued to see the next arc. Instead of like throw you under the bus and try to figure out how do you get out of this thing. Because who these like novel characters? I mean, I would like to read them if they ever bring it to the United States. Or did they license them?
I'm gonna look into that real quick actually, because I don't think they did. But the only thing I know they did for Black Clover so far, as far as here in the States go, is the volumes. But as far as light novels go,
They
I
should,
don't
they
think
should
they have.
They should try to at least adapt the one that came from the video game storyline.
Yeah, that was a
They
good one.
should bring that to the United States. I mean, it's pretty clear that I think there was a recent sales data. Was it for Japan? Yeah, I think it was. Apparently, Black Clover is actually popular than anybody thought. People think that it's not that popular because hey, look, less merchandise or less talked about, or the manga sales is just okay in terms of like exposure already. I mean, yeah, that's true, but it does shows that there's actually a good wealthy number of people that enjoyed Black Clover as a series as a whole, from whether it is Japan or outside region. I think it was Crunchyroll. I remember they showed a graph, and surprisingly, there's some places that Black Clover was the most popular in the choices of anime they have. I was like, huh. So it's actually pretty popular than I thought too. I mean, like I know it's popular, but it's good to see what region that Black Clover is really popular at. People think that the series is not catching on or would never catch on. And yeah, it would not probably won't be like as popular as My Hero Academia
I don't
or
know about that, but I think it might be like up there.
well, I mean, like it's good enough for exposure. All I'm saying is that Black Clover is definitely popular. Maybe not very pronounced as My Hero or Kimetsu no Yaiba in Japan, especially in Japan.
Oh yeah,
Maybe it not be as pronounced, but it's definitely popular. And I don't know why people try to downplay it, but it's definitely is popular. I mean, the merchandise is coming in too. So I'm just waiting for Noel. That's all I'm waiting for. Like,
right,
yeah, you're gonna collect that.
right. I mean, I still got to get my hands on Volume 19. That volume is, at this point, I've seen people
Be-
quote it as legendary, and I'm like, yeah, that's fair.
best volume out there. 19. I mean, it's hard to. What is the best volume? Well, who knows? But
Cover?
well, cover wise, that's a good one actually.
I mean, 23 was pretty good too, even though it was just sacred, but it was a good
There's
one.
nothing wrong with that. The short and the anime sure made her. It's funny because the anime actually show her before the episode itself shows her. Like,
Oh,
who is
really?
she? Yeah, I remember seeing like comments saying like, I have no idea who's this girl, but she seems like the best girl already. I was like, well, nobody gonna fault you there, sir.
Nope.
No, because the opening came before the reveal
It did,
of her
yeah. I
character.
know. I was like, what the hell? Like, is
Yeah.
that going a
So
little?
like actually I think that's still one of the top comment. I'm gonna check myself. Give me a second.
I mean, I know a couple people also mentioned that about like Gray too, like when she was teased for the Water Temple arc. Yeah, there we go.
Oh, for Gray? Yeah, that
Yeah,
was her first time to reveal the real self.
yeah. They revealed her in the opening. People were like,
Uh,
"Who is this?" And I'm like, "Oh, y'all find out."
oh, here we go. One of the top comments for the Black Clover ending 10, it was like, I don't know who this girl is, but I already love her. I was like, Yeah,
Like, I don't
makes
blame
sense
you.
to me. Huh?
I don't blame them for feeling that way.
Yeah. I mean, the anime sure made her, sure put her in the spotlight, and the ending, I was like, hmm, I don't blame anybody saying like, "Oh, no, it's my new best girl." Like, yeah. I mean, I even comment that. I even commented in one of the reviews saying like, "I'm gonna be honest with you. When it comes to like best girl from the other series, I'll be like, this. I'm not. It's like this is probably easy to choose." For this series is one of the sessions I'll be like, that's actually a pretty good question.
Yeah, it's a bit tough. Like, it'll get you thinking. I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm having a hard time. I mean, granted, I would just say Noel because that's just me. But if I were to say second place, I'm like, shit. I
You're
gotta
right.
think. Give me like 30 years. It's not easy, damn
It's not.
it.
People have to be like, okay, fine. Number one, Noel. Number two, I don't know.
Question mark?
I'll be
And
like,
plus, huh?
I was gonna say, I'd be like, give me till when Black Clover ends, then I'll give you the answer on the other 7, 8 characters if you want me to go in that schematic.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, say I don't think the series. There's one thing I would say that the one advantage this series has over a lot of other series. Sure has a hell of openings.
Ooh.
Like all the openings is good, like at least good, and then like none of them are bad. All of them are like a good 8 out of 10, and then everything, and then you could go like as high as 10 even.
You're right.
This is crazy. I'm like, damn. Now looking back, these openings are not bad at
They
all.
are, yeah. Like, I remember, like, I mean, it took a bit for me to get accustomed to opening one, but after I heard it a couple times, I'm like, no, it's actually pretty good.
Yeah, I know they update the newest opening. You seen the recent update?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I'm still surprised. Like, man, are we really gonna cover the Dark Toride already? But we'll see how that goes. But I did like the opening a lot though. I was like, oh man, here we are.
Yep.
Here we are.
That's just only even crazier.
Hmm.
That's for sure.
Look at this way, guys. At least we didn't. At least the series didn't get Seven Deadly Sin treatment in terms of animation. So I mean, I know it's a running gag as of late with the whole Black Clover doesn't have the best animation, but again, you go look at the Twitter account, is you kind of it's more forgiving because they really are passionate about their work. They do mention about they wish they had more time and stuff, and that's fine. It is a tough business from what I heard from a lot of sources. But yeah, it's not like Seven Deadly Sins. I really wish to know what's this backstory behind that third season. Like, what the hell happened?
Season
Oh man.
3, and then there's the whole situation with the manga, but I'm not gonna go into that.
Yeah, we're not gonna touch that anymore. We're not touching that. We don't speak that here.
We don't. Someone might reference like, "Hey, what about the manga?" I'm like, we don't talk about that because there's a lot there that could be said.
Uh, speaking of openings, even their spinoff has a hell of an opening. So I'm like, all right, is there such thing as no good opening? Is there like a contract for Black Clover to not to have any bad openings? Even a spinoff has some cool one. And it's funny because every time I watch that spinoff, I'm like, I think these studio actually forgot that they're doing a spinoff, which is involved them like in their chibi status. Like the deformed status where, basically big head or small body, whatever you want to say it. I'm wondering, like, do they know they were working on this series? Like, oh yeah, we are. Shoot. I got an idea. Change them into a small version of themselves at the very end. There we go. Petty Clover, but I forgot what they call it. It's not Petty Clover because it's different.
No, something else.
Something else. But yeah, that I should find out. And it's actually kind of cool to see that, to know the fact that these guys, the opening song was actually sang by the two voice the two voice actor from the series. Asta, that's pretty damn cool. I mean, Asta, he sure came a long way because let's not forget, even me was joking around about Asta's voice
Oh,
acting.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that how it
The
goes? Mana
scream.
mana. So like
He has come a long way. I've like watching the anime now because I remember I was like marathoning through Black Clover when I was like, well, actually no, I caught on to this even sooner than now. When was it? It was like that episode like when you had not Nozell, but the one who spilled the
solid?
water. Solid. There we go. Yeah, there was Solid
Yeah.
and the sister.
I forgot the sister name.
Yeah, I feel bad for forgetting it right now, but yeah, I know there was that episode where she was feeling like embarrassed and she was gonna walk away, and then Asta makes that comment, and I'm like, holy shit! Like I don't know what it was in that episode, but
Yeah. Oh, I remember now. Squishy Black Clover.
squishy.
That's what
Okay,
they call it. Yeah. Yeah, you look at the opening, I was like, man, you, it's just a spin-off, a comical spin-off
I they
years
still made it
ago.
look good.
Yeah, I'm like, is there a contract that you just don't want to do bad opening?
They probably they're like, yeah, people care about the series and shit's actually getting real, so let's not disappoint on the openings. I
Apparently
mean,
not.
let's face it. We don't want any of the Naruto War Arc openings.
Oh god.
So
Well,
well, okay, the first opening, the first War Arc opening, because that, oh my god,
are you talking about? Wait, which one are you talking about? Naruto Shippuden opening 10 or 11?
I think it's 10. It's 10
10
or
is
11.
the one they dancing, they're running. The weird like Naruto had a funny run. All I know, Killer Bee does a funny dance because the wide angle lens screen just looks so wacky. And
No,
then
and
you
then
got
the Akatsuki clones, the Akatsuki Edo Tendes, like where they just like they pile up on one another. It's like, what is
yeah, yeah, that's opening 10. I think that's regarded as one of the worst opening for some reason. I don't know. I mean, it's up to is either that or I think it was up opening 11. Was it opening 11? The
that?
heridas, something like that. Heridas.
I thought it was too. I know. I was like, okay, I know we're in a. I'm like, okay, I get it's kind of like a happy series and whatnot, but we're in a war. Why is this what we
Yeah.
have?
But at least they more or less redeemed themselves with opening 16, so I'll forgive them for
Yeah,
now.
I was like, okay, fine. Y'all to go with 16.
Yeah, opening 16 was pretty damn awesome, actually. But yeah, like I said, Black Clover has just has a contract apparently that they can't do bad openings. They just don't want to do one. I know Studio Perry is.
Maybe they invite Tabata and be like, Tabata, we'll just have to fix this, fix this, fix it. They're like, okay, listen to Tabata.
I mean, in his in Studio Perry defense, they are kind of the one thing I would give them break is
Oh yeah,
that their openings can be really damn good.
we can be.
Like
Yeah,
like you got from Naruto with the Shippuden opening 11, oh, not 11, wow, opening 16, opening 16, or even opening 6. You go look at what's the series? Tokyo Ghoul first opening. My God, everybody loved that opening to death.
oh
Even
yeah. First of
even
all,
even Ishida himself to the point that he actually used it in the manga, which is pretty cool. Black Clover, we already talked about this just now, and you see yourself as like they use first opening because it's so damn cool. It's really is cool. This other series, they Bleach is stylish. I like Bleach openings a lot. Some was a miss, but a lot of them were pretty damn cool too. So yeah, they're just good because Studio Parrot can be really cool with the openings. You can't say the same with the anime itself sometimes, but at least opening is pleasing as hell. So
oh
there's that. I think that's just about it. We got we
yeah,
just kind of went off.
I was trying to think. I'm like, is there anything else to talk about? Because I feel like we've pretty much tackled everything, even with predictions too. It was like, huh. I guess for like a very super brief, quick predictions,
Mhm.
either Dante will do something and counter Asta's move, or he's like
Like
petrified by whatever Asta. He's like, I don't know what to do. Actually, no. If he does that, he would lose credibility as a villain. So I don't think that's the case. But
I mean, well, yeah, that's kind of true. It depends how it works out. I mean, if he gets defeated here, yeah, that would definitely hurts a lot. Especially he's supposed to be the leader, supposedly. So we only is, yeah, supposed to be the leader. So losing like that would be a little strange. Like, huh? That's a little weird.
you're right.
But we'll see how that plays out. Maybe he looks surprised for now, but then he's just like, all right, I'm impressed, but I'm just gonna kick your asses and take Vanessa with me, and then I'm gonna find Yami and take him with me and everyone else.
Right? Let them all be slaughtered. As messed up as
Yee. That sounds a little messed up. Unless Yami shows up, you think Yami will show up? He's supposed to be back, according to Goach. No, was it Goach said that? Yeah, Goach said that.
I think so. If
Supposedly
Yami
he was.
does show back up, like okay, the fact that they got vengeance already, it kind of gives me the impression that like instead of Vanessa, it might just be Yami that goes. Because no, and I've noticed that like anytime vengeance gets involved, somehow, some way Yami does too.
What if that was if like what I want to know, like if Yami shows up there, or they were still Dante would be still going after him from afar, because they supposedly Yami was in a meeting with other captains, right? Something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah, I wonder if like if he's still there, and then Dante still go after them from there. Like I wonder if like that means like other captains will be aware that they're being under attack by these guys, and then maybe Charlotte get involved. Charlotte curse is still known, so it was like, hey, maybe we could tie in everything here.
oh my god,
Damn, that would be sweet.
right?
Oh yeah. These possibilities are so interesting, man. I can't wait for the
Wow.
next chapter. Yeah, I'm really hyped up with this series.
I
I
agree.
feel like I mean, like, look, I support I support the official release with the manga magazine, the Viz thingy.
Mhm.
But I'm really close to thinking just get the volumes now. Is that really good for me? That's how much I'm invested with this series now. It's a great sign. It's a great sign.
Oh yeah.
So I know you've been collecting. That's awesome. Like I said, it's a choice for everybody. You want to collect the volumes or whatever. I
Is
mean,
I
I'm
feel
still.
like I was
Mhm.
gonna say, I feel like it's a matter of like what point you feel like it's worth collecting at. That's kind of how I've always viewed it. It's like, all right, is it a thing that you start collecting from the beginning, or is it a point where you wait to see how far it goes, and then once you reach a certain point, it's like, okay, now you get the volumes.
Yeah. I mean, you could be like those guys. Which one series recently did something not good? I'm not gonna say what series, but it's in the weekly Shonen Jump. This is a recent event. It's happening now. A lot of people are regretting it what they did. So me, I'm like, whoop. Maybe one day I'll talk about it. I don't know. I'm thinking about talking about it in my channel, my YouTube channel. That is. I'm thinking about it, but we'll see. We'll see. I have a lot to say in with regard with that series, but yeah. I don't have the volumes. Yeah, I'm not too much. I'm not that guilty because again, I support the series with the Viz, so
What's the
you
bit?
can't look at me like, oh, ha, ha, ha. I'm not saying like don't support that guy ever again. I'm just saying I dodged a bullet. I guess like that's the best I can say.
Big
I don't
bullet
know.
too. It's like, oh, I
It is pretty fascinating in some way to see the reaction. I'll say that much. But yeah, Black Clover is winning me over a lot.
oh man, and I gotta say, just to echo back from the beginning of the podcast, like it really it does feel good to be back, especially
Yeah.
with what's happened recently.
Oh, I can't wait for the next one then.
You're right.
Let's not go another 6 months on a break because I don't think these guys will be going a 6 month either. I think this is the time to stay and enjoy that ride, if even if it's all hell, because
Right,
yeah.
like I'm sure someone's probably just sitting there right now going like, watch. 3 month break. I'm like, no, I'm making the commitment. All right, go by. You know what? Screw it. I'll bring the trend. Under Vision 2020. I'm gonna make sure this thing stays on a consistent basis. If for whatever reason we miss a podcast, it might be like 2 chapters or so. Outside of that, we're gonna keep this on a consistent basis until the end of 2020. Let's see how long that lasts. And I know someone's gonna keep a tracker on that. Be like, okay, let's keep track on Lucky Chi. Is he staying by his word or is he dipping again? Which, like I said, stuff's happened. But now I've kind of gotten to the point where, hey, it's time to come back. And I'm here to say, even if we are kind of like in the not so happiest situation with Black Clover, for in terms of like where all the characters are at, it's like, yeah, things are getting kind of grim, getting very, very grim indeed. But yeah, um, as always, for life, it's really great having you on board for for doing these Black Clover podcasts. Like, you know, especially like coming back like after like nearly 3 months.
It's great to be back. I mean, what else there to say? It's just great. Just like wrapping it up right now. Like, it's like, man, we sure had a hell of a time to talk. We could have gone more, but I was like, I think we should stop at some point because we didn't try not to hold up too long for the guys that have been hearing us speaking about Black Clover. Especially we're talking about like, oh, the opening is awesome and this and that. There's a lot to talk about in general.
There
But
is.
yeah, but like we here just to recap and gone back to where the way things are. Now we're in a recent chapter. Hopefully we don't go away for another 6 months or so.
Right.
Unless the arc is wrapping up and say like, oh, we gotta go another training 6 more months later. Maybe. It's
Let's hope that's not what happens.
like, hey, we got a reason to go take on a break too.
Right.
But yes, it was great. It was great to be back, and hopefully we stop by very soon.
Hopefully.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed we end up going back this next week and same format as it's always been. As the intention is what it's gonna be. So until then, you guys, that is pretty much it for this grand return for the Black Clover podcasts. I'm Lucky G7.
Sparda3g.
And we will catch you guys next time. Peace.